What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about property flipping here in Spain. If you are new to the channel, my name is Nicolas and I've been working with property here in Spain for nearly a decade. I've been flipping properties, building a rental portfolio. I own a real estate agency and a co-working space here in Spain. So in today's video, I was thinking about sharing some of the knowledge I've learned along the way. And if you are considering flipping property in Spain, then this video is for you. So I live in Costa Blanca, Spain. This is my core market for investing in property and also selling properties. I also do deals other part of Spain along the coast, but my core market is in Costa Blanca. So if you are considering buying, selling or investing in property, as always, click the link in the description down below to schedule a free consultation call with me and I will give you guided advice. So why should you consider investing in Costa Blanca, Spain? There are several reasons for it, but one of the reasons is there is a very high demand from international buyers. So what I have personally done when I'm flipping properties is buy from locals, buying from Spanish people who owns the properties, or even buying directly from the bank, which is bank repossessed properties or distressed properties. Then I fix the properties, I do a renovation. Sometimes I keep the renovation simple, sometimes I do a full-on renovation with, new flooring, new kitchen, new bathroom, painting. I do everything from scratch, except, of course, doing anything with the structure of the property. This is a smart move because then you buy from locals and then you do the renovation and sell to international buyers. The international buyers normally want something key ready. They don't want to start with renovation when they buy a property here in Spain. So they want to basically buy something which is nice, appealing, ready to move into and just get into it. So that is where the money is, buying a distressed property, fix it up and then sell it to international buyers. And also consider that Costa Blanca and Spain in particular has a lot lower price entry than Northern Europe, for example in Scandinavia or other parts of Europe. The prices for the property are a lot higher than Spain. So here in Spain you can easily get a distressed apartment or property for maybe 60, 70,000. Here in Costa Blanca, fix it up and sell it for a lot more and make the profit, of course. Another reason to buy property here in Spain is because of the sunny lifestyle, which attracts year-round interest. So now people are actually relocating and living in Spain full-time, a lot more than they did back in the days. Maybe 10 years ago, it was more on the holiday homes. But I see each and every year people are relocating to actually live in Spain all year around, which make it an even bigger market. And people are selling more properties now than ever before. So the market is definitely booming. And a good time to start investing in Spanish properties is now in 2025. So if you're not taking advantage of it, it's definitely something you should start considering. So what type of property should you buy when you are looking for properties here in Spain? Well, I normally recommend buying an older apartment or distressed townhouse, for example, with 1 or 2 bedrooms. Sometimes you can get your hand of 3 bedrooms, depending on a little bit what market you want to target. And also you can get small villas needing renovation with outdated interior, of course. And what I recommend is avoid the big structural project, especially early on if you're new to renovation, because consider renovating properties here in Spain might not be the same as renovating a property in your home country. So if you're new to the game here in Spain, maybe start with a little simple renovation, do some painting, new furniture, maybe a new bathroom, maybe a new kitchen, but definitely avoid this big structural project in the beginning. And the most important factor when flipping property here in Spain or probably in any other countries is how to find the property and the property you are buying. So the most important part is the property you buy, and you want to make sure that the property is under market value. So me personally, I'm looking for properties that are under market value with about 20 to 30% of the market value. So that means, for an example, if a property costs 100,000 euros, I buy it for 80,000, 70,000, or even less in some cases. And then, of course, to find those property, you should talk to a local real estate agent who specialize with property investment. And that's how you find off-market properties. You can also look for bank repossessed properties or even distressed sellers, which are in need for a quick sale, and maybe you can get a quick sale from that property and you solve a problem. Because keep in mind, flipping properties and buying distressed properties, you're solving a big problem from the seller. So if a seller is desperate to sell, you come with a solution to buy the property and they give quick cash, and you also fix the property and solve the problem. The same with bank repossessed properties. The bank has a lot of bank repossessed properties and you take the property out of the hand of the bank, which again solves a problem. So we also always want to keep in mind that you are going to solve a problem when flipping a property and investing in properties. And also keep in mind, when you sell the property and you find a new buyer, you are also solving a problem, because the buyer who buys the property wants something nice and fresh and just key ready to move into. That's where you come in, where you can start flipping the property and giving off a good project for the new buyers. And you should always keep in mind, from my experience, I've seen a lot of quick renovations and maybe not so good renovations here in Spain. They call it chapuza here in Spain, which means basically that the renovation is more like a quick fix and not really very nice, and the quality is not the best one. In my opinion and my perspective, you should always try to do a very good, not a luxury renovation necessarily, but a high quality, so the buyer who buys the property will be very happy with the property. It seems very obvious for many people to do this, to give a good renovation and deliver a good product at the end, but not everybody does it, and I totally recommend that, because in the long term you're building a reputation and people will come to you when they are looking for a nicely renovated property if you are consistently delivering a good product. Another good way to find good properties here in Spain is to try to get contact directly with the owners, which means that if you see a property is for sale, they normally have se vende sign on it or a for sale sign. You can actually knock on the door and speak directly with the owner and try to cut a little deal directly with them. Some people sell their property without agents, and it's completely fine to then contact, of course, directly the seller. You can even scout Idealista, see if you find some property owners and contact them directly and get a nice little deal directly from the owner. So what kind of return of investment should you be looking for when you are investing in property, specifically in flipping? I personally recommend aiming for around the 20 to 30% margin when you're flipping a property, because you need to factor in the taxes, the agency fee, and the timelines for delay. And from my personal experience, I've always noted that the renovation costs more than expected, and it also takes a lot longer than expected, especially the renovation. And then when you are selling the property, you should aim for maybe 2-3 months on the market. Here in Spain, normally the property won't get sold, immediately, like in many other countries. It normally takes a little bit of time. And keep in mind that the average price, the average time frame to sell a property in Spain is around 5 months. But when you're flipping property, you have a good market value on the property. It's nicely renovated in the good location, of course. Maybe you have a little view. You should aim to sell it for 2 to 3 months. Sometimes it takes longer. Sometimes I've flipped property and got it sold the first week or even before I list the property. That's why a good network with agents is also very important, because then you can inform the agents that you have a new project you're going to sell. They can come there while you are renovating the property, and then they can even give a little off-market action to their clients. So you can start marketing the property without even completing the renovation. I've personally done that, and it's a good way to save some time, because by the time the property is finished with the renovation, you already had it sold. It's important to keep in mind as well that the return of the investment can drop very fast if you over renovate the property. So you want to keep it on a budget. You don't want to go for the most expensive thing. You want to keep a budget and a timeline and be very strict with it, both with the budget and the timeline. Sometimes unexpected things can happen when you are renovating the property. Like for example, some plumbing you didn't see before you started with the renovation, some pipes need to be fixed, or some nasty surprises you didn't expected. So it can easily get more expensive than expected. So always have that planned in as well when you are doing the budget. You should also consider using a lawyer or a tax accountant or a store to look over the documents when you are buying the property, and also calculating in all the capital gains and taxes when buying and selling the property. And you should definitely also factor in the plusvalia, the capital gains tax, and the purchase cost when you are buying the property, because it's a lot of unexpected taxes and when you're buying and selling the property. And also keep in mind that you will have the agency fee when you're selling the property as well, because you buy the property, you renovated it, and when you are selling it, you will give it to a real estate agent, and that agent normally has a fee from 5 to 6%. So you need to calculate that also when you are selling the property. Some flippers buy the property in a company name. I personally do this myself. I started buying properties in my own name, and then once you are making a certain amount of money a year from the properties you are flipping, then it does make sense to put it in a company name to save a little bit on the taxes, and you can do more deduction when you are flipping in a company. So that is Sociedad Limitada here in Spain. So if you are considering making some money from Spanish property, and specifically flipping properties is completely worth it, and you will make more money from flipping properties than rental properties in the short term. So that's the real difference between flipping and rental properties, that from the flipping you will get much more money quicker than rental properties. Rental properties is a long-term game. You will get the appreciation and you will get passive income from it, which is very nice. I personally recommend doing a combination of both. If you are getting a little bit skin in the game and you are getting some capital, you can build a rental portfolio and flipping properties both at the same time. That's how you really are building a little real estate empire. So if you are thinking about buying property in Spain, investing or flipping, or have any question, drop a comment in the section down below or send me an email. You can also schedule a free consultation call with me, and I will give you guided and tailored advice specifically for your situation. I've done this for years and I'm happy to share some more. So if you do have any more questions about investing, buying, selling, or how to make money with Spanish property, just shoot the question down below, and I'll see you in the next video.